Always? Oh.
This one is negative.
It is negative.
This one is positive.
That's true.
So it should be negative. Because for example, maybe minus 1,000 or minus 1 billion.
That
Then
is
it should be positive, and it should be negative.
Because when you taking out the absolute value. It cost me the caught me, Lee. When you take out the x from the radical, it's going to be an absolute value of x. That's correct. That's right. So now when these two cancel, what are you left with? You're left with a negative, right? Because like Lee is saying, this one is always negative, and this one is always positive. So therefore you have a negative 1 here, instead of a 1. Before we canceled them up here, when I erased them up here, it was x over x. Because this one's always positive, this is always positive, that's just a positive 1. But down here, where this one is always positive and this one is always negative, so it's going to be a negative 1. So whenever, what's that?
Why is top one positive?
Tom's always positive because it came from a radical. We talked about yesterday that the radical function is defined only for positive, it only puts out positive values, right? Because it's a function. It does not put out the negative stream here, right?
Okay.
So anytime you factor off, so you have this, the answer to this is always this. I just get lazy sometimes and I forget what I'm dealing with. This is always positive, I don't really worry about it. And it becomes so second nature to sometimes just write this, right? Square root of x squared is just x. It's not true if x is negative. For example, let's say you have the square root of -4 squared. The answer to this is not -4. Why? Because if you take the order of operations properly, it says -4 squared, which is 16. And now you're putting 16 into this function here, and it's going to put out the number 4. It's going to put out a positive 4 because of order of operations and how the radical function is defined.
Okay.
That make sense? It's a small subtlety of the definition of the radical. And whenever you deal with
But how come you couldn't just cancel out the 2 and the radical?
the 2 and the radical,
Yeah, the exponent, the squared and the squared. Like when you had like the radical -4 squared, why couldn't you just cancel that out to keep the negative?
because it's not true. Because what this really says is first you must square this object here, and then you take the radical of it. If you follow in that order, it's going to give you the number 4 and not -4.
Okay.
The relationship that the square root of x squared equals x alone without the absolute value symbol is true whenever this x is properly defined for the radical, meaning it's non-negative.
So if it was positive, +4 squared, then you can canceling out.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's right. So thank you, Lee. Be very careful when you're factoring out x's from radicals. Make sure you include the absolute value, which will determine the sign of the final answer. So this should be a -1/2. That is true. Do we have 3 on the schedule today, or 2? 2 sections or 3?
2 sections.
Go to the next one. We'll just have 1 section next time in review.
Yeah.
Is it better?
Let's just do all of it.
We'll take this tomorrow, yeah?
Can we just review the whole thing for the exam tomorrow?
We'll
do that.
Yeah, it won't take that long.
Alright, well, we
Thursday.
can get ahead.
Last day this week. Come on.
Let's review the rest of it, and then we can look over the.
All right, take a break and come back, and we'll do the next section.
Finish all the section, and we can review for the exam tomorrow, right?
I don't think we're going to get through that last section today. search is actually the most complicated of all.
Oh yeah.
Only the people like some of people like some.
Did you figure out how we can use the textbook online?
You couldn't even do it at home?
No. You have to like download some.
Are you serious?
Yeah, you have to download the,
And I,
what's it called?
I'm having a hard time downloading it.
like a
It's like Wolfram.
Oh, you know, oh, I know why. Right. Because it's not the foundation, it's the text.
and I can't get my book.
It used to be
till
like
Thursday.
PDF.
I can't get my book till Thursday.
Yeah, you have to download that garbage if you're going to use their
I opened
products
it.
from there.
I opened it through my laptop. It looks fine.
I tried.
That's 'cause you already
I
have
have
a
it.
mathematics in there,
Extract it to your
probably.
desktop so you can open it.
I don't know.
Okay, so let me get my laptop. Does that have that one?
You have to pay for that Wolfram stuff?
No.
I don't think so.
Then I really don't care. It's fine.